What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you a different sort of video. Well, when I say different, I don't mean it's never been done before, but I mean different for me, and it's kind of a bunch of things that I use or like to bring, especially if I'm going out somewhere, to help with my anxiety. As for those who don't know, but before I go to that, keep in mind, I'm not saying this as a definite thing that I'm sure of. I have not gotten any official diagnosis, so please try to just... I don't mean any harm by saying this, and I'm not an official who knows everything. But anyway, I have traits of 3 different disorders: autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit disorder, and obsessive compulsive disorder, plus anxiety on top of that, which I don't know what causes my anxiety. And again, I said I have traits of them, didn't say I had the diagnosis of them, but a lot of people who know me say I definitely have traits of all 3, especially OCD and ADD. So these things here, like, going out is difficult for me because of all those issues here. My anxiety runs really high when I don't know what to expect, right? I'm most comfortable in my room. So if I have to go out of my room, or the house more specifically, there's certain things that I bring just to relieve the anxiety. Now, also keep in mind, I don't bring all these things everywhere I go, but I will bring them up. Like, I'll say when I bring them, in a way, but these all do help. Now, my camera is not really working, my red camera. I don't know where the battery is, so I'm going to have to use my webcam for multiple angles. So if you see a little bit of movements and that, I'm just trying to show what I can't show otherwise. So, the first thing I'm just going to talk about, but not completely talk about because it's also kind of personal, my medication. I need to have my medication wherever I go, minus work, because you have to sort of hand them over, and I don't know how to get everything signed for that, so I just, if I'm anywhere but work, I bring my medication. Like, if I have to go somewhere random, like, for example, a week or so ago, I had to go with my aunt to the vet to help with my cat and my dog, and having that medication there really helped, because it was not a last minute thing, but like I was told the night before, but it was a very short notice thing, so I had to mentally prepare myself, so I brought my medication to help me with those type of things. Now, most of these other things are work related. This is what I mean, like, I bring them to work. And I guess I'll start with the hardest thing, which is why, again, I'm showing you another camera angle. Haha, isn't that cool? My computer within my computer. But yes, I bring this to work. I can do a lot of things like editing and watching YouTube videos, or there's educational sites that I can go on as well. So, yeah. Now, guys, I don't lug this computer every single drive I go on, every single place I go. This is more of just an at-home or an at-work type of thing that I use to help relieve my anxiety. What else that I need off camera? Now, this here I mostly use at home, but it's Alexa. That is the case of one of my medications. So, yeah, I use it to listen to music at night. It helps calm me down. So, I don't normally bring this anywhere, but this is really good for my anxiety. So, that's just a thought. If you can afford it, get an Alexa, because it's also really useful for, if you don't understand a word you're reading, it'll translate it for you. Now, things here. My Switch Lite, this I bring everywhere I go. I play certain games on it, but I also bring, this is the case, I got that for Easter, I believe, and in it I got a space to play games and my Nintendo Switch. Yes, I can tend to bring both of my Switches, and I'm careful when I bring both of them, but it's just, if I run out of battery on this one, I can go play that one. Now, on this particular console, I am currently playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. I'm doing a challenge where I use a different team each gym, each area. It really helps having the Grand Underground. Like, the levels are almost, is to the level of, what is it, the next gym or the gym before. So you can raise your Pokemon up pretty high with that. I got a Pokemon level 52, which I use as my Pokemon to train them with. But I find that doing this challenge relaxes me. I mean, I don't know how or why it does, but it just, I guess I could be mindless when I'm grinding because it's not a Nuzlocke, so if I faint, well, I faint. I just heal up. The only time that's a downer is when I'm trying to evolve a Pokemon by happiness. So, yeah, but this is mostly the only one I play on this system for now. I might occasionally also play Let's Go Eevee or Pikachu. But on this system, I'm trying to play Digimon Story Cyber Sleuths and Earthbound. I'm taking my time with it. I gotta get back to playing Digimon, but having both of those there helps, knowing that I have different things that I can do. So what else is there? Well, my Goosebump book that I'm currently reading, Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. Now, I sometimes have a hard time focusing on it if I'm occupied, but if I'm in a place like a car, like my aunt has to go in somewhere, this is really useful. It's quiet, so I can read and I focus on it more, but I've been getting into a lot more reading than I have ever done in my life. Like, in the last 5-6 months, I've become much of a bigger reader. I don't know why. I mean, maybe I'm finally growing to that point, thinking, oh, books are actually kind of cool now. No, I know this is a children's book, but everyone has to start somewhere. And I am slowly getting up there. Like, I'm still reading the Harry Potter books, which again, it's kind of a childrenish book. But you know what, guys? Don't spoo me. Harry Potter, everyone can love Harry Potter, but I mean, under the age range, normally, that is still not an adult book, but it is, in a way. It's a young adult book compared to this, so, but hey, I'm working my way up there. And I lost my place again. Fantastic, but I'm into comics. I've been reading, like, I finished an Archie comic I read. I'm reading the Dilbert Don't Step into Leadership currently, which again, I lost my place. Why do I? Of course the bookmark falls out. But I'm almost finished of this anyway, so do I have anything in return? Yeah, the next one I'm reading is the 10th anniversary of Calvin and Hobbes. As I said, I bring a lot, guys. I bring a lot to work. You wouldn't believe it. Like, these are mostly work stuff, but I just switched it over to this when I'm not at work. I brought my word search. Now this, guys, will also really calm me down. I can just stare at it and find words. I've gotten really good at that. Like, I find certain things more relaxing when I'm stressed than others. Like, I don't do this every single day religiously, but if I'm not feeling good, if I start doing this, it calms me down. So I save them for moments like that, when I really need it. But it's good to have when I really need it. Speaking of Harry Potter, And look how far I am to finishing it. Like, this is my next goal where this page is. And this is near the end. I've read, let me see, the bookmark. I've read up to where the bookmark was. So I'm close to finishing. I do a 100-page goal each time. So I always have this with me in case I read my other books. But now, each time I read 100 pages, I try to read 2 or 3 books. Instead of 2. Well, 2 usually. And these are my next 2 books. I'm going to read this book, the Arsat's Elevator, and The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. After I read The Piano Lessons Can't Be Murdered, then I'm back to The Order of the Phoenix. And I'll be so close to finishing The Order of Phoenix, I don't know what I'm going to do once I hit the 100-page goal, whether I'm just going to continue or what, because there's less than 100 pages after that left. So, I'll figure that all out, but I tend to bring 3 or 4 books with me when I go to work. I know a little unnecessary, but sometimes being over-prepared for me is better than being under-prepared. If you kind of get what I mean. Like, I know I'm not the fastest reader, but one day I could have absolutely nothing else to do. Like, let's say the power goes out, then again I may not have a light, but if I'm at work or something and the power goes out and I lose internet and everything I can do at work, I have all those books to read and the word search to do, so trying to find. Also, these aren't really helpful so much when I'm at work, but I have different journals for different reasons. Like this here is where I put some of my goals, like reading so many books, playing certain games. And this is just a random thing if I add some thoughts to it. Oh, well, what do I want to do? Like, sometimes having all these things genuinely helps me. And let's see what's actually in my big bag. Well, I have this, which again can be really nice if I'm stressed. Yes, it's a stress ball. Go figure. And another stress ball, and sanitizer, which I haven't used yet. The games that I currently want to play in here for my 3DS, which is, speaking of, once I find, this I always bring on me. It's a fanny pack, and in here I have this, guys. This here is a lifesaver. It's one of those pop things where you keep popping. It's like, you know, when you pop bubbles. That, trust me, if I have a panic attack and I just sit and do this, it's amazing. My 3DS, yes, I bring that too, along with my 2 Switches. I make sure I know where everything is. But sometimes I just want a smaller system and have games. Right now I'm currently playing Pokemon X on it. Like, I'm doing, what is it, the 100-hour challenge, which again I hadn't done for a little bit since doing this video. Maybe I'll get back to it, and I only had a few hours into it, so. This here, I always have on me. Like, let's say I just get a bad pain because of my IBS. I can bite in there almost as hard as I want. I am still mindful that this is only, what is it, silicone? I forget what it is, but you could still lose pieces from it if you're not careful. And even if I did bite a piece off, I'm not to the point I could just go, right? Like, I wouldn't swallow it. But it's still something you can bite pretty hard if you're in pain. Or you can fidget with it too. I tend to do that, especially with this part right here. I tend to just kind of, with my fingers, so this has so many uses. And I'm glad I got this. Like, since I got that, I always felt a little bit more comfortable. And there was like one other thing here. I'm trying to find it. It's buried in, aha. These. My headphones. I can go places without it, but very rarely do I. Like, sometimes, like, let's say this isn't like, how do I put it? It's not noise canceling, per se. It doesn't have that specifically built in there, like some do. This is like just a normal headset, in a way. But for me, when I use them, I have, of course I forgot one of the most important things. My iPhone. That I bring everywhere. This will go along with the headset. If I'm in a panic mode, like if I have to sit and wait somewhere, I will get my iPhone and my headphones and listen to a video that I know very well. So I can just ignore it, pretend I'm listening to music. Like, that's the way I cancel out noise, necessarily. I don't usually use the noise canceling feature of anything anyway. Because for me, guys, the sensory issue when it comes to noise, even though that is my worst sensory issue, it isn't that bad when you compare it to what a lot of those on the autism spectrum go through. For me, it's, how do I put it, more distracting. The only time that the noise is really distressing to me is if I'm in pain with my IBS. If I'm going through a real bad cramp pain and a bunch of people start screaming and trying to talk to me, then no, I get overwhelmed. But if I'm in a good place, some noise is not going to bother me so much, but distract me. So I use that to kind of help focus me, because I'm familiar with this noise, the video's noise. So if I'm trying to read or do something, I'm just listening to the video or the music, whatever it is that I decide is on at the time. So for me, that's the thing with me. I don't know how to even clear what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what I have for sure. The only thing I am 99.9% sure is obsessive compulsive disorder. The other two could be far off or far wrong, but all I know is that I have traits of those disorders. I cannot pay attention to save my life sometimes. Like, when I was in work the other day, I was trying to read The Piano Lessons Can Be Murder, but I also had a video on in the background. I could barely focus on the book because I was so, maybe because I didn't know the video enough and I just wanted to know what was going on in the video, so I just kept watching the video. So I did pay attention to something, just the wrong thing in a way. Or sometimes when I'm reading, like even when I was reading in the car, right, when I was waiting for my aunt that same day, which I did far better reading in that situation than I did at work. Every minute or so I'd be, just looking every other way. And another good example, it has to do with this channel. I get so many fun ideas in my head, guys, to like, oh, I want to do this video, oh, let's do this video. 9 times out of 10, they don't get done in a timely manner. It's not that I'm not interested in this channel. I am. It's just that we'll say those with ADHD, which I understand, not that I have it, because I don't know if I do, but from plenty of people who've said it, whether it's on YouTube or through people I know who have it, they're very creative, right? They can get plenty of creative ideas, but the work, in a way, if the work is so overwhelming, we might as well not even bother for some, because they're like, oh, I have to do this video about my favorite show. Well, okay, I have to write down the narration, check for copyright. What was I doing? Why do I want to do this again? Like, it's just everything together. right? They want to bring it to you guys, right? Like, they want to bring things to their audience, and they love the idea of, like, love their ideas, but when it comes to the point of it being so hard, like, so many steps to do, it doesn't sound as exciting to them anymore. And it's not that they're purposely lazy, it's just the way the brain is wired. They literally can't stay focused enough to actually do the I'm not saying that they never can. With proper technique, and like if they take proper steps to learn how to manage it, sure they can, right? But without that proper help, it's like, and as I'm not saying this from someone who has ADHD, I'm saying this from a lot of people I've heard from. Even I can't completely say that's true, though. And if I do have ADHD, then I was completely right? I know this is it for me, though, right? That is the way I am, in a way. Not that I'm purposely lazy, and I do get plenty of good ideas, and when I actually get them done, I find I do really well, but I just have to learn to take the time and learn what I need to be able to focus. Like, because as I said, I barely could focus for the life of me unless it's on a game that I know very well, or a video or a series that I'm 100% interested in. So, for example, this video was one of those good ideas which I'm finally getting done. Which, to be fair, I only had this idea for a day or two, so I finally got something that I got done in a relatively quick manner. Hey guys, Future Jazz here. I forgot to mention, like, why the computer helps me a lot. Well, the videos, of course, but I often have a couple of games on the computer that during my break I could play at work, and I look forward to doing that. Like, it helps calm my anxiety. And the two games that I mostly play on this PC that help with my anxiety is Grow It Up, which again I love. Just it's kind of a time management game in a way, so that kind of helps relax me, and I know the game so well now that I really don't need to focus too much on it. And the second game, obviously, The Sims 4. I'm doing a generation challenge, and it keeps me busy long enough that I'm not really thinking during the time that I'm playing it, and it helps relax me. Like, it's kind of like when I know when I turn the games on, I'm close to the end of the day. I mean, obviously, Tuesday and Friday are a bit different, so on Tuesday, I still have a bit more time, right? Because break is at 1:30 rather than 2 o'clock, which work ends at 3, but it still does give me a little bit of a middle ground there. It kind of, like, it's routine for me. Like, I always, if I'm playing The Sims, I always turn it on 20 minutes early, for I'm not going to be stressing about it being not able to play it. But, as I said, it's helped me get into a routine. Enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.